Hi everyone, this is Nathan.
And this is Heather.
With Gamma Penguin, and today we've got something really cool. We were able to score an NES Classic Edition. This was fought by being up at 3 a.m. and constantly hitting the refresh button on 3 different websites. I got it from GameStop, and it arrived today, and I'm so happy. I'm sure everyone's heard about this. It sounds like this is going to be the thing of the holiday season. I think they said that it crashed Amazon when it went online on Friday at 2 p.m.
Dang.
I know, and I actually, to get it, GameStop's website kept crashing on me, and it was hilarious. I mean, but I was so persistent, I finally got it. I was worried it wasn't going to ship, but it did. It's here. This is awesome, and just to show you, so what it is it's the old 1980s Nintendo, and
except it's smaller, right?
Yes,
Okay.
and we'll definitely see. Except really small.
It really looks like the real thing.
It's kind of like a lot of those like Atari and Sega flashbacks. Except this one, while those are all cool, this one I have to give it a little bit more. I mean, of course, I'm a little bit more biased for Nintendo as far as the old games go, but I have to say they really did this right. Like, I mean, you've got the design of the box is very reminiscent of the old Nintendos with that. And I guess it was kind of towards the end when they started doing the red. Of course, they started with the all black for the first year or two.
Yeah.
I think there's only like 12, 15 games. Sorry, I don't know the exact stuff, but I do know. But this is kind of towards the end of how it was branded towards the end of the lifespan. And what also kind of sets this apart from the other collections is that they went and licensed all of the non-first party games.
Wow.
So usually when you buy something like this, like problem with Sega's is it says comes with 100 games, but only like the first 20 or 30 are true
like the legit
Genesis games. The rest are like Marble Drop, crap like that. But so with this one, and same with the Atari has a lot of great stuff on the flashback, but it's all first party. And, you always want that, like, classic Donkey Kong, which actually is on here, but the Atari version. And so on this one, though, they went through and they licensed all the big names. And as you can see, this box art is really cool. Retro blast from the past. They've covered the box with various characters. Link. Ooh, those are the big games. Bowser from the original. And it shows you. And, of course, this thing is very small. Classics. And so just looking at the back, it gives you all the games and a lot of cool game art pictures like you used to get on the back of cartridges. So the 30 games, and it comes with 30 games, and the games it comes with is Balloon Fight, Bubble Bobble, Castlevania.
Ooh, I love the original Castlevania. That's one of my favorites.
Castlevania 2, Donkey Kong Jr., Double Dragon 2, The Revenge, Dr. Mario, Excite Bike, Final Fantasy, Galaga, Ghosts and Goblins. See, Ghosts and Goblins and Castlevania. Before I owned a Nintendo, my parents used to rent it, and those were the 2 games I rented. I loved them.
Loved.
Yeah, when I was a kid, they were great. Gradius, Ice Climber, Kid Icarus, Kirby's Adventure, Mario Brothers. Mario Brothers is a really great arcade game. Mega Man 2, Metroid, Ninja Gaiden, Pac-Man, Punch-Out! Featuring Mr. Dream. I wish they'd get the Mike Tyson version, but I don't think that deal's ever going to happen again. Star Tropics, Super C. A lot of people are complaining about that one because they say Super C is a great game, but, why not the original Contra?
Yeah.
That is a sequel to Contra, by the way. Super Mario Brothers 1, 2, and 3. Wow. Tecmo Bowl, which all my football-playing friends, that's one of the game.
Yeah.
Football fans, they don't play football.
I didn't play it, but I remember everyone talking about that game.
Oh, yeah, they still talk about that one. Legend of Zelda and Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link.
Wow, that's some awesome games.
Well, I'll say, though, the one thing, a lot of people are happy about the arcade games like Donkey Kong Jr., Pac-Man, and Ghosts and Goblins, I think, is more accurate. But the rest of them, I have to say, I've played all of those on the Nintendo, and they're not as good as the arcade version. But they're still pretty cool, but, for me, I like more authentic versions. But anyway, without further ado, why don't we get this box open and get a look what's in here.
It looks like.
I've been hearing the reviews have been great for this.
And I noticed on the back it is rated E for everyone, in case that's important to anybody out there.
So first thing we got is the pack-in paperwork. And I have a feeling this is a poster. So it gives us a...
Oh, nice.
Boom, 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 boom. The other thing is that's kind of interesting is that they're covering 3 languages on it, which is very European. You know, a lot of people in the United States
I remember that
aren't
game.
familiar.
That was for Duck. Yeah, it's got Duck on it. I remember that game.
This is the original. Was this the action set? But the original set that came with Robbie the robot. So something a lot of people don't know is that when the NES, or well, a lot of younger people don't know, is when the Nintendo's been around since the 1800s. They used to play, make playing card games, and they actually, from if I remember correctly, were reluctant to get into video games.
From the 1800s?
Oh yeah,
really?
they played.
Okay,
yeah,
I did not know that.
And so they created the Famicom, which is the Japanese version of the NES.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Well, not as much of the Jap, but it's pretty much the same. One of the big differences is the Famicom One controller actually has a microphone, which in Legend of Zelda, you screamed into it to defeat one of the bosses. So when they brought it to the US, they removed that feature. But when they came to the US, it was shortly after the Atari collapse, when the whole thing just imploded on itself. And so Nintendo was a little reluctant. So when they first, but they, you know, one of the guys there just kept pushing to say, we gotta bring this out. And even I think they may have approached Atari at one point to release the Nintendo in the States. So it would have been like the Atari NES or something.
Yeah.
So they were adamant about not calling it a video game system. That's why it says Nintendo Entertainment System.
Oh.
Was because they were afraid of getting lumped in with Atari's, you know, with the arcade crash and the video game crash, or just the negative connotations. So Robbie, they kind of also focused on Robbie. Robbie, it's a fun thing. But it's a complete novelty, like a lot of video game controllers. And really, he does not add a lot to the experience. He's more fun to watch. Because really,
I've never played with one before.
Well, see, that's the thing. You have Gyromite, which is kind of about opening and closing gates.
Oh.
And the thing is, all he's doing is, if you get Gyromite without the robot, all you have to do is, on the second controller, you get a friend to do it. And it's just like B and A or something.
Oh, yeah.
And there's tons of videos to correct all this. I'm just kind of reminiscing a little bit. But you can actually play Gyromite, and that's really all Robbie was doing. Robbie is awesome, don't get me wrong. Just wanted to share that little tidbit. Okay, so on to the next part. So we have all the other pack-in information. Club Nintendo, I'm not going to show you that because that has a code on it. Now let's pull out the Nintendo system itself.
Oh my gosh, it's so
Yeah.
tiny. I knew it was little, but oh wow.
Considerably smaller than the actual NES.
Oh, it's so cute though. Look at
Yeah, and in some ways, this is actually...
Do you want to, like, try and open the thing there, but it doesn't open?
Even once you get tired of this thing... Let me go ahead and focus there. You've got something kind of cool to put on top of, you know, just a set-top or a desktop thing. So it is very much exactly like the Nintendo.
Yeah, it looks
I would say about 1/4 the size. Maybe 1/5 even.
Yeah.
And you've got your standard reset... and your power.
Did they actually work? Did the buttons
Yes.
work? No.
Yeah.
Oh, that one did.
Yeah. No, it works.
That one to work though.
No, that's all it's doing is it's just pushing an actuator.
Oh, okay.
So I want to show you something. So what I have here is a Wii controller, and I just want to show this real quick. This is the Wii gamepad from the first Wii, and something that I saw was on the internet you can use that in here.
Cool.
I've not once we are going to do both the unboxing and playing in this video, so we will see if it works because I can get Heather in on some of these 2-player games. Okay.
So, but it does come with the controller, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And on the back, we've got the DC. Looks like it uses a USB micro connection for power and a standard HDMI out. And that's pretty much it. And I mean, this thing is light. You just held it.
It is.
I mean,
it's
just,
no, it weighs nothing at all. It almost feels like an empty box. It's kind of crazy.
For nostalgia reasons, this thing
how cute it is.
Already worth the price.
It's adorable.
Okay. Second thing, we got the controller. Actually, I'm going to set the controller aside for a second. I've got a little something that I had in mind for this video. A little wall wart, AC adapter. I will refer to it as a wall wart from now on, just so you know, but that is the AC adapter. Standard USB with power outage. Oh, nice. Okay, so, you know, sometimes things don't come with the HDMI. This comes with a decently long HDMI. That's a good thing because I'll go over one of the drawbacks everyone's been talking about on the internet here shortly. Okay, and that's just a standard USB to USB micro. Boom. Okay, so, and just real quick, so this was $60, and, you know, that's a good value. I've got to say, for 30 games, and they are pretty good games. I mean, there's going to be games some people like, some people don't like, but $30, I mean, you know, that's $2, but if you really think about $15, $10 or $15 for the deck, I mean, that goes down to $1.50.
Yeah.
I mean, this really, so just for the aesthetics, this is kind of worth it.
Well, and really for the nostalgia of it, I mean, and it's cute. It's so cute.
And so now we're going to do the controller, and I'll explain why I save this for the end. So this is a controller. It is very much like...
It is pretty much the same size, isn't it? Maybe a little bit smaller.
And it's using the Wii.
While, so I can't really remember.
Well, I'm glad you said that because here's what I've got. So this is the original, or this is the new one.
The one that comes with the...
Here is my original controller.
Oh no!
That came with the old 1980s.
Wow.
So as you can see, that's the...
Okay, so... Oh, it is. It's exactly the same size.
And it's a little dirty. I'm sorry about that.
It's been well played.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Well, but the thing is
very cool.
So
is it lighter weight than the...
Well...
The newer one feels a little bit lighter weight.
See, it has a little bit of yellowing on it.
Yeah.
But the feel of it, like, try that real quick. Just push the buttons. So the reason...
Oh, yeah. Very
the other reason is
similar.
not just to show this to you, but... do a quick comparison. So I've collected the originals and some of the clone systems, and one I'm not going to show is I have a clone system in storage somewhere. But so I've also got this Wii controller, and as you can see, and a lot of the problems you have with almost every clone is that they are not, you know, they don't respond as well. They're not as springy, and I mean this is perfect.
Oh yeah.
I've also got...
We'll find out in a little bit when we play.
The dog bone controller. This is a controller meant for the re-release, or I'm sorry, the update top loader system. This is actually the first thing I ever bought on eBay is this controller.
Oh, really?
And I love this controller. The dog bone, you know, for nostalgia reasons, the original is better. You know, a lot of people prefer it, but this one's actually a better controller. And so, I've got to say, after, you know, I'm kind of touching this one is, they have done a great job. And here is an SNES, and this is the only SNES, because this is a SNES 8-bit Dude controller. And people like this one. They say this is the closest one, one of the closest ones you can get without buying the official Nintendo. Mm-hmm. And I'm actually going to do a video on this one. I really like it. So, still though, this is just emulating. You go back to the original. It's very solid. And finally, or actually, so the other one I wanted to bring out, this is a USB. And you can kind of tell it doesn't have quite the same dog hair
on it.
It doesn't have quite the same quality as the original. I mean, it's not as responsive. Like,
yeah.
You can just feel right there. This one's a little tight. It does a good job. And the final one, this is from the Retron 5.
There we go.
And to be fair, this one is designed very much for all of the systems that the Retron 5 plays, so it's not a fair comparison, but this one, this is kind of what I'm talking about. I would say it's a little bit better than that USB controller, but it's still kind of weak. So, and plus, it's taking the analog kind of way, so that really kind of takes something away from the Nintendo games. But I would say that this thing is as close to the classic as you can get. I would say the only other thing that comes close is the 8-bit do. So anyway, okay, sorry, I just wanted to do that comparison.
No, that's
and
really
let
cool.
you guys know about this. So
we are going to take a quick break, and we are going to give this thing a try, and we'll show you some gameplay. We'll be right back.
I can't wait. And we're back. Okay, well, putting this together, the first thing I can tell you is I agree with one of the main problems being talked about on the internet. The controller is extremely short. Like the cable.
The cable's very short.
The Wii Gamepad Pro, which is meant to, and I'm sorry, it's not a Gamepad Pro, just a regular gamepad. That's meant to hook into the bottom of a Wiimote is actually longer. So basically the thing that is wireless is longer, has a longer cable than the thing that is meant to hook up. So when we use the included HDMI, which is still pretty good, and the USB power, we're making it, but it's a little uncomfortable. You can buy extenders, and I probably will be buying another. Well, if the Wii remote works, I may not buy another controller, to be honest.
Yeah.
So without further ado, let's power this puppy up. So I'm pressing the power button. And there we go. Ooh. So English. So this is the... Ooh, yeah, sorry, we forgot to unmute.
Forgot to unmute it.
And so the interface is really cool. Let's start at the top. So we have display. And you can add different filters. So if you want to catch that retro CRT or tubed television film,
that's cute.
You can put that on it.
Oh, I love that.
4x3. So most TVs are 16:9, but the games were originally done in 4x3. That just means you'll get black bars on either side of the screen. Pixel perfect, which is probably just I believe that's an upgrade. So let's go back. Options. We got demo, auto shutdown, screen burn-in. You can reset to factory. Change the language. Legal notices. Let's just say there's a lot of copyright. Well, it does look like they're using some open source software, so I'm going to do more research on that. I would say that they probably have some sort of emulators. It's always been my theory, though, that this is a lot of this is based off of a Nintendo Wii. I heard somewhere, and I haven't confirmed this, that this thing actually has more power than the original Wii.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
It's so much smaller.
This right here, I already know about this one, is a great feature. It's manuals. So they don't have all the manuals on here, but what they do have is you can just take your smart device and scan that, and it'll take you to the manuals for all of these games.
Neat.
Or you can just follow the address at the bottom.
Cool. That's really nice.
And so we've got Balloon Fight. This video is already running quite a bit longer than our normal videos. I think most people will be okay with that, but we'll go through this real quick. We'll play 1 or 2 games. And that's actually a cool thing about this is it's telling us what are one players.
And 1 and 2. That's nice. Yeah.
And so, I mean, Final Fantasy, that's awesome. Galaga, Ghosts and Goblins, Ice Climber, Kid Icarus. And there's a lot of people talking about how, there's games that clearly should have been on here that aren't. I think it's pretty safe to say there will be an NES Classic 2. The only thing I'll say that's kind of bad about that is that really 30 games does not take up much memory. I guarantee you there's more memory on this thing that could probably have held most of the Nintendo NES collection.
Yeah.
They just, because of licensing and wanting to get others. Sorry?
I was just saying, keep scrolling
Oh.
to see what else there's.
Mario Brothers would probably be the one we play together, and then I'll choose a one-player game. Ninja Gaiden, Punch-Out, all the box art, Star
Yeah,
Tropics.
I like the original box art. That's really nice.
Story about Star Tropics is that at my local Toys R Us, that was, as the NES was kind of coming to it was sunsetting in the US, our local Toys R Us, out of the last 4 games they had Star Tropics, like, for 2 years past.
Oh, jeez.
Always wanting to sell, and I've heard it's a great game, but it's just kind of funny. Okay, so I'm going to start with a one-player game, Super Mario Brothers. It's 2-player, but I want us to try out a 2-player at the same time.
Okay.
And, of course, this is the original. This is the one that was the pack-in.
So nostalgic. Wow. The picture's great. Hope you guys can tell in the video. It looks really good.
Woohoo! Okay. Oh no, there's a secret. Okay. So we went through that one real quick. I'm not going to play the whole thing. Nintendo's not very friendly towards... so what I'm going to do now is I am going to hit...
Is it pretty easy to switch back and forth between games?
Well, you hit reset.
Okay.
And bear with me. I want to show off a feature. This may cancel out the feature. Okay, cool. So what it's done now is it's put the game down there at the bottom. Mm-hmm. So if I hit the down, it's flashing the down. I can go ahead and save it. So this does save states.
Oh, that's nice.
So this was back in the days when you either had a password system, a battery, or you played the game till you finished it.
Yeah.
As I was talking about, this is one of the original black box games. You can see the art changes. Most of the original lineup for the Nintendo actually had all black boxes before they finally started doing the full box art. Anyway, so this save state, very similar to what you have on the Wii, the Game Boy, 3DS, and all that. Just really very helpful. Mm-hmm. Okay, and you can get back to this by just pressing down. Menu, left, right. Okay, and you can also sort your games too by 2-player games.
Oh, that's nice.
Recently played, times played. There's really good features.
Yeah, really good features. Easy to kind of move around and find what you're looking for really easily.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and we'll start Mario Brothers. Just play it real quick just to see if our Wii remote works. Because what we want to do is see if you have any old Wii stuff around for the classic controllers or anything. You could use it and maybe not have to even buy the controller. So let's load up. Okay, 2-player game.
Okay,
Oh, it's
works.
working.
Yeah. Yeah, because I'm Luigi and I've got the Wii controller. Sweet. Yeah, it totally works.
So everything jumping okay?
Yeah, no, it works really good.
Woohoo! Okay, cool.
Very cool.
So we'll hit reset. Has the same thing. I've got to say, so final thoughts before we go. I've got to say for $60, if you are into classic gaming and you want a great way to have a good menu for this, I mean, the interface is great. It simplifies everything. I mean, you know, if you have a Wii or Wii U, you've probably already got the majority of these games. I think most of them are out on the Wii, but not out on only some of them are out on the Wii U. I've got to say, it's really great.
It's really nice, and it's also very portable. If you want to go to a friend's house and play a bunch of different games.
I've seen cases for this too.
Yeah, it's really lightweight and portable, so it's really fun to go hang out with your friends and play different games. You could take it to a party or whatever.
And looks really cool on your desktop. I mean, even if you're not using it,
it's so cute.
It's small enough that it can fit in the palm of an adult's hands. So I've got to say, this is a good buy. I mean, it's $1.50, $2, and a lot of, and as I was saying earlier in the video, some of these, they say, oh, we've got 90 games, but only like 15 to 30 of them are true classics. Because, you know, there's basic games that are just kind of meh.
Yeah.
And then there's these that even, you know, they're no Call of Duty, they're no 3D thing, but they're still fun games.
Yeah, and I think it's a great way, too, to introduce, like, your kids, younger people, to some of the classic games that they may have never even played.
Definitely. Yeah, this is definitely the days when you did not turn on a console and, hey, we need an update. And it took an hour for your console to update when you just wanted to play a game. So I love it. $1.50 to $2.
Per game, yeah. I think it's worth it. It's really fun. It's really cute. Very portable. Very easy to use. The interface is super simple on it.
Definitely. And I'm a little bit more technically inclined than Heather is.
That's an understatement.
And I mean, I think she would do really well.
No, yeah, I could I could easily hook this up. I can figure out the interface and everything. It's really fun.
This is really for everybody.
Yeah,
it really is.
Yeah, there's a game for everybody on here too. That's the nice thing as well. There's really, no matter what kind of games you like to play, there's a game for you that you like. Definitely. Or more than one.
So I think that's where we're going to bring this to a close. Thanks for sticking with us. I know it's a little bit longer than our normal videos, but I'm really stoked. I'm so glad I got this thing. I think it's going to make for some good, fun holiday play.
Yeah, we'll be having friends over playing this for the holidays. It's going to be so much fun. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We really hope you enjoyed this.
Like, comment, share,
subscribe,
everything. So, without further ado, this is Nathan.
This is Heather.
Sorry. Have a great day and keep on gaming.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, neat. Okay, well, before we close.
Perfect.
Here's what happens when you don't touch the controller for a while. That's kind of cool. So you got a screensaver mode.
That's great.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Bye.
Thanks for watching.
Sweet. Okay, and there goes our cat. That's our cat, Jinx, who's in front of the TV right now. Sorry.
She's checking my wiring work. So.
Jinx, get down, baby.
Woohoo.
Do you want me to move her?
Nah, it's okay. Okay.